All right, third graders, today we're going to look at drawing quadrilaterals. We have learned how to classify quadrilaterals by the number of pairs of opposite sides that are parallel, by the number of pairs of sides of equal length, and by the number of right angles. I highlighted that in purple because it's very important to remember. The number of pairs of sides that are parallel, the number of pairs of sides of equal length, and the number of right angles. Now, before we continue, I want you to think about what are the different types of quadrilaterals that you can name. Let's go ahead and pause the video and then write down the quadrilaterals that you can name. You should be able to come up with 4. So please pause the video, write them down. After you write them down, start up my video again. Okay, hopefully you've written down all the quadrilaterals you can name. Let's go over them. You should have rectangle, square, rhombus, trapezoid. If you have all 4 of those, give yourself a little fist pump and a little quiet celebration, okay? If you didn't, remember those are our 4 quadrilaterals: rectangle, square, rhombus, and trapezoid. Let's move down to activity 1 here. We're going to use the grid paper on the side to draw quadrilateral. Okay. Please grab a ruler that's at the round table. With your ruler, draw a line segment from point A to point B, from B to C, C to D, and finally D to A. Once you have that done, you can write the name of your quadrilateral. Now I am going to move on, so while you're writing the name of your quadrilateral, you will want to pause your video. And then after you've written it down, you can start the video again. I'll give you some time. Please pause the video. Okay, hopefully you've written out what the name of your quadrilateral is. You should have right here written trapezoid. If you did write trapezoid, excuse me, give yourself a little pat on the back. Nice job. Let's move down to activity 2. We're going to draw a shape that does not belong. Here are 3 examples of quadrilaterals. We have our parallelogram here, we have another quadrilateral here, and we have a trapezoid here. Okay? You are to draw an example of a polygon that is not a quadrilateral. Okay? Now, go ahead and draw that here. After you draw it, explain why your polygon is not a quadrilateral. And then pause my video one more time so you can write your explanation. And then when you've written your explanation, please play the video to check your work. Okay, I'm assuming you've written it and you're now starting the video again. Explaining how your quadrilateral, or your shape rather, your polygon is not a quadrilateral would include something like your shape is not 4-sided, or possibly your shape is not a closed shape and it is an open shape instead. That should do it for us for this part of the video. We're going to look at the next page though. Okay, now up here at the top, we are going to draw a quadrilateral that is not a square. We have 4 examples of squares here, or 3 examples, excuse me, of squares. And over here, draw another polygon that is not a square. After you draw it, press pause so you can explain why your quadrilateral is not a square. I'll give you time now. Please pause the video. All right, and we're back. This is time for you to check your work explaining why your quadrilateral is not a square. You should have something written down that says your quadrilateral is not a square because it does not have 4 sides of equal length and 4 right angles. That's what we're looking for. If you need to change that, pause the video again and change it and press play when you're ready. Going down to C, we have 3 rectangles, and you're going to draw a 4th that is not a rectangle. Whoop, excuse me, not a rectangle. There we go. All right. After you draw your rectangle, press pause on the video so you can explain why your quadrilateral, now it needs to be a quadrilateral, is not a rectangle. Please pause now. All right, and we're back checking our work, why your quadrilateral is not a rectangle. Remember, quadrilateral needs 4 sides, so you should have a 4-sided shape over here. But it's not a rectangle because you do not have 4 90-degree angles. And then finally, we'll move on to part D down here. Oh, I'm sorry. If you have to fix this explanation, please pause the video. Then we'll move on to part D here. Draw a quadrilateral that is not a rhombus. Now remember, a rhombus is just a shape with 4 equal sides. These two are special rhombuses called squares because they also have 90-degree angles. This is also a rhombus. All 4 sides are the same length. So you're going to draw a quadrilateral that is not a rhombus. Press pause so you can draw your shape and explain why it's not a rhombus. When you're ready, resume your video. Okay, you should have explained why your quadrilateral is not a rhombus. The only explanation you need to give is that your quadrilateral does not have 4 equal sides. And that's it for the video, boys and girls. If there's any of this where you're still confused, please replay the video or find the section that's confusing to you and review it again, because we definitely need to know these things. All right? So once you're done with your video, you've done all your work here, it's time to move on to the share and show. Please show me your work on share and show. I will check it, and from there you can move on to your independent assignment. There is no iPad assignment today. This assignment is all done in the workbook, and I will have written on the whiteboard which problems you're supposed to do for your independent assignment. All right, boys and girls, thank you, and good luck today. Mr. P, I'm out.